So they catch this guy, right? And he has Monopoly money in the bag. Absolute fucking cinema. This is the guy that everybody is saying shot him. We don't know whether it's true or not. It's all alleged, but it seems to be true. If not, this Luigi guy is going to be having a very bad day. And so seems like a happy guy. Yeah. So he came from an Ivy League school. There he is. Just a normal guy. Absolutely fucking ripped. Likes Pokemon. And went to, I guess, Penn State. There we go. And so, yeah, just a normal, average guy. GitHub links to a Facebook account. And often reposted tweets about anxiety. Not a surprise at all. People think that most mental health treatments are mushrooms. Treatments for it more helpful than any of them. Anxious generation, for sure. Video of Luigi giving his valedictorian speech at Gilman School. So he was the valedictorian of his school, I guess? That's really fucking impressive. Facebook account as well. 1.2k friends. He's got a lot of friends. Friends who went to high school with Luigi said what keeps coming up is a back surgery that changed everything for him, and he went absolutely crazy. This checks out with his Goodreads history and an x-ray on his header on X. That sucks. He's an avid reader with 295 books listed on Goodreads. Additionally, gained recognition as valedictorian of Gilman School, showcasing his academic excellence. His work contributions to machine learning and robotics. Luigi wrote that violence is necessary in an Amazon review of Unabomber Kaczynski's manifest. Right. Right. So this is his review that he wrote. When all other forms of communication fail, violence is necessary to survive. So why should we have any qualms with them burning down to survive? Violence never sold anything. It's a statement uttered by cowards and predators. So then if you go down to the rest of this, it's cousins with the Maryland state delegate. Okay, that's interesting. The gun found. Okay, this doesn't. Okay, it doesn't say McLovin. I was expecting it to. And reviews from the McDonald's he was arrested at. It's full of rats. Okay, really shitty McDonald's. Free Luigi. His disdain towards healthcare industry is likely due to his treatment of an ailing relative due to the New York Post. He lost his grandma in 2013 and his grandfather in 2017. The alleged shooter scheduled videos to be uploaded to his YouTube account following his arrest. The video states, if you see this, I'm already under arrest. I really wonder, he says all is Oh my god. Man. The fucking Riddler, yes. I hope YouTube doesn't, I don't know, like, maybe should YouTube ban it or not? I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence. I don't know whether they should or not. But, like, so the content side of my brain says yes. The reasonable, at least partially reasonable adult part of my brain says no, because it could encourage more people to do things that were like this too. So, it's a fake crypto channel? Yeah, that could be it too. Did a video break the law? Yeah, it's hard to say. Sister sends prayers to her brother, praying for you. Commenter points out that December 11th flashes at the bottom. Okay, that's in 2 days. His Instagram got deleted. He apparently has a PhD. Pretty huge dick. All right. So, from what I think, check his Twitter, funny stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Let me go back. I'm going to look at the rest. He's an avid. We watched Asmongold. Oh boy. Yeah, that'd be a real good one, right? Let's see if I can find any more information about this too. It's really hard to say. Okay, so another picture of him with Bro, this guy really likes McDonald's. Oh, man. Wow. I think that's about all of the information that's available for him right now. I think there's nothing else, at least at the moment. Trump pardon incoming. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's be real. So, yeah. It seems to me like this is a guy... My best guess of what could have happened if all of his friends said he went crazy is that maybe he got this back surgery that happened. It negatively affected him in a massive way. He probably didn't get healthcare insurance in one way or another, or this was related to his grandparents. And the change in personality could have been a psychosis that was induced maybe by trying illegal drugs. That is a chain of assumptions, but maybe that's what happened. I don't know. It's a reach. It's totally a reach. And that's why I'm saying that myself. It's a movie plot? Well, I mean, yeah, but people base movies on real life sometimes, you know? Yeah. Constant physical pain does fuck you up. It can be as easy as that. Yeah. Microdosing on shrooms doesn't make you go crazy if they were microdosing. That's true, but I've known people personally who have had their personality altered and gotten fucked up by shrooms in the long term because they took them. So it does happen to people. It's not like it always happens or it never happens, but it does happen, and it's a possibility. And people do take shrooms for pain relief as well. So, yeah, 7G made me ultra homosexual. 7G made you ultra gay? Okay. Is it 26? Let me see here. Not psychosis. His actions reflect the kind of ideas he presented in Ted Kaczynski's essays. There's a strain of people in Comp Sci who buy into this. No. And actually, I'm not going to give my opinion on it. I think I won't, especially given the situation. But, yeah, there are a lot of people that agree with him and think that he's right. I'll tell you that. And so Psycho, well, I feel like it's probably, with a lot of people like this, it's very rarely one thing. It's usually a confluence of events. And it's like, like 3 or 4 things converging at the same time that causes somebody to totally lose their mind. A big fan of mushrooms for depression and other natural options. My homies took shroom once and almost shot himself off a bad trip. It's dangerous taking psychedelics in high doses. Yeah, exactly. And so it's possible that happened. Maybe he had undiagnosed mental thingy. Yeah, and like, so, because this is what his friend said. Friend said he went to high school with him. What keeps coming up is that a back surgery that changed everything for him, and he went absolutely crazy. I wonder what year he got the back surgery. I don't know if they mentioned that at all. But it says he read it in 2022. So if he read it in 2022 and he's 26 years old, that means he was 24 when that happened. So it would have been 6 years after high school. Why is everyone obsessed with him being mentally unwell anyway? For people to determine whether his actions were caused by an ideology or by instability. Because that's very different and it's a different conversation. So that's the reason he shot a guy in cold blood? Yeah, exactly. He obviously was. No normal person does this. He just crashed out. Yeah, that could be it too. Why not both? Because I think that if you're not in control of your mental facilities, you can't truly have an ideology that has any sort of basis because you're building it on sand, right? Because your brain doesn't work. So, could have lost hardcore character at 59? Oh, yeah. Well, then... Okay, let's, you know what? We won't go any further. But yeah. Is just full of them in psych wards? Yeah, exactly, right? You're building on water, drowning the next minute? Yeah, exactly. I think someone pushed him to do this. I think this is really interesting. I do. I find this to be tremendously interesting. And I'm really curious to know, like, what actually happened with this guy. Yeah, because I think this is only the beginning. I feel like, especially with somebody as prolific as him on the internet, like, he had like 74,000 followers on Instagram, if that's actually his Instagram. The guy probably has so much content that he's put out there. It's going to be nuts. Crazy, there's no info. Crazy, so much info on him and none on a Trump assassin. Oh, Trump Assassin was younger, so he had less time to post. The school he went to was private and cost a lot. His parents had a lot of money too. Yeah, and so that the thing that, like, about his parents having a lot of money, that makes it confusing, because usually most people that are driven to like a you know, like a healthcare or mental health crisis, mainly that happens because of inability to pay. And so if he had rich parents and he was going to an Ivy League school, and I mean, this guy seems like, for all intents and purposes, like a pretty well set up guy. So that's also confusing to me too. And that also makes me believe that it was either a psychosis or it was done for an ideology, right? Rather than done out of desperation. Because I feel like this person, like, whenever I think of a person who's going to shoot like an executive or CEO of some place, like a healthcare place, I would imagine like a terminal, like, cancer patient, or I would imagine somebody who had their you know, claim denied, and it's like a life-changing surgery. So this is not what psychosis looks like. From my personal experience, that doesn't reflect anything. I don't think that it looks like any one thing, and I could easily see this happen. I think the message on the Unabomber book told us that he was acting off of rational thinking and had an agenda. Also, the uploaded videos, he wanted the world to see and know what he did in time. Well, it's also uncertain as to whether those videos are actually real right now. We don't know whether those videos are real or not. So that we'll probably find out in like a week, right? A few days. But right now, we're not certain. It was a shareholder meeting? Oh, that must have been it. Yeah. Oh, has it got to be psychosis, not just a Giga Chad? I think that it's not. I mean, like, you can't have people going around shooting a person without a trial, right? Unless, like, they're, like, being directly threatened or something like that. You can't have people making that decision. Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, let's be real. Now, obviously, like, I mean, this guy's like the CEO. Like, I hate insurance companies. I think that they are parasitic. I absolutely think that. But just because I think that doesn't mean it's okay to, like, go shoot somebody, right? I mean, and by the way, like, if you think that it does entitle you to do that, that's fine. But somebody might think that about you. So you should be careful about that. It's not okay, but I'm not upset about it. Yeah, I can easily see that. I think that's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's a counter reaction to a sick culture. Yeah, I think to certain criminals deserve to be killed. How do you know he wasn't paid by another insurance company or something related? I find the fact, like, the idea that he was paid in order to do this, I find that to be unlikely. This seems like a person with a lot of opportunities and privileges in life growing up. And it seems like a person who would be like that would not want to throw away their life if they were concerned about their material circumstances. And the reason why I think why I think he could be crazy, or like it could be psychosis, another big reason, is because of how he did it. I feel like it would just be much more logical and reasonable to just use a rifle and shoot from a larger distance, and that way you can get away more easily. So, like, it's the way that he performed. It's the way that he tried to kill the guy. It seemed like it was extremely personal and upfront. So he either wanted to get caught, or he's crazy. He's not an assassin. I don't think you need to be an assassin to shoot somebody from maybe 50 feet away. You could just be bad with guns. Yeah, there's that too. Right, shitty aim. Yeah, it's possible. Rifles are harder to use in urban areas. Maybe you're right. Because, like, he didn't follow the guy. Like, I mean, like, if I was trying to kill somebody like that, I would follow them around, know where they are, wait for them to be in an empty place or at night, and then I would shoot them, right? I wouldn't do it in the middle of the day. And, like, this guy, he's a smart, logical person. So, like, would a smart, logical person who has, you know, a graduate degree, would they do that? I don't know. I wouldn't expect that. I mean, maybe, right? Also, his face wasn't covered? Yeah, true. Educated doesn't mean smart. This guy, he's a smart guy. This is a smart guy. He's not stupid. If you think this guy's stupid, you're stupid. He's not stupid. He wanted to be seen and show how willing he is to be a martyr for the cause. then why cover your face at all? I bet you could probably find 50 other pictures of him walking down the street, or like, you know, in like all these photos on Instagram. Probably none of them he's covering his face and wearing a hood. I mean, he's obviously trying to hide his identity. I mean, if you, like, I don't know if it shows the picture here. It looks like it doesn't. Like, if you looked at that picture, you can clearly see, I mean, this is the photograph of a person who's trying to hide their identity. So there's just a lot of these, like, these things that I find to be very complicated. And I don't know. There's something here. There is a piece of the puzzle that's not. It's not public. We don't. Yeah, there's something here that doesn't, like, it doesn't make sense. You can't draw a line. Yeah. You wrote a dissertation about wanting to make video games in UPenn? Nice. Based. He wanted to be caught. He also knows that he will be well received on the internet. Yeah, I think that's true. It may have been arrogance, thinking that he could get away with it without taking many precautions. That's a good point. Definitely planned to get caught. I think that he did too. For the show, he wanted to. Seemed to want to put on a show from having Monopoly money. Oh yeah. So they catch this guy, right? And he has Monopoly money in the bag. Absolute fucking cinema. I'm sorry. It's so fucking entertaining. Wow. With a fake ID. He wanted to not get caught, but he had plans in case he did. That's what I think it was. That's the logical thing. Is that he didn't want to get caught, but if he did, he had a contingency plan for it. He switched out the backpack and had a second pair of clothes ready to change into. Sounds like he was taking evasive measures. Yeah. Why would he schedule YouTube videos, though? Probably because he thinks that... So, in his mind, he's the good guy. This is important to keep in mind. He is the hero of the story in his own mind. Whether you think he's a good guy or not, he thinks he's a good guy. Right? And so, he's a Joker? Yeah. He's a good guy? Everybody is going to say that until some crazy person decides that based off of their own invented criteria, killing somebody that's close to you is the right decision. It's not. You don't just get to go around and shoot people and attack people that you don't like. That's not the way the world works. I understand that there's a lot of vigilantes and a lot of revolutionaries on Twitter, but that's not the way the world works. It can't work that way. It never could work that way, right? And the places where that is the way the world works are a lot worse than here. 100%? Yeah, it's keyboard warriors. Exactly. It was about optics in a statement. He left shell casings that said deny, defend, depose. And he also had Monopoly money, sending a message for sure. Yeah, I think so too. Dead man's switch? Yeah, it's dead man's hand. I think that's the phrase you're looking for, but yeah. Hassan kind of justified his actions by sympathizing with his story. I think it's very important for you to be able to talk about and sympathize with a person's struggles without normalizing what they're doing and saying that it's good. So, for example, like, there are a lot of people who, because of their circumstances in life, it's very understandable why they did something. That doesn't make it exclusive. It doesn't excuse them from doing it or excuse them from consequences. But you have to understand why a person did something. Of course you do. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's normal. Now, I'll read a few more comments about this, and I feel like we'll just wait until more information comes out about it. It seems like that's been pretty much everything for now, at least, right? Yeah, we're in a movie now, because what the fuck? Yep, there it is. The mental health crisis in America, and maybe even the world, is getting really bad. Yeah, maybe, right? AOC followed them on X. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I think that any public person who is celebrating a person like this is... I think they're making a really bad decision, because there's a lot of people out there who want to kill public figures. They want to kill people in Congress or content creators, etc. And if you normalize this kind of behavior and you say that it's good, well, then who's to stop somebody from thinking that that's a good thing to do against you? Right? Like, what's the difference? And I think that people have like a very short-sighted moral viewpoint of the world where they think that everybody else is going to think according to their morality. But the fact is that there's a lot of people, and this is especially true with people that are on the extreme ends of society, whose morality and the way that they see the world is so drastically and dramatically different than yours that you can't expect them to see things the way that you do. Look at how people view Elon. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, think about how many people think it would be a good thing to kill people in Congress or to kill, you know, some content creator or some commentator, right? I mean, it's an extremely dangerous line of thinking. And before you go and you say, oh, well, that wouldn't be justified, though, well, it doesn't matter when they're dead. This isn't equivalent to people close to me getting murdered. It's an extremely distinct difference between a healthcare CEO who's directly responsible for people struggling due to policies. I don't think that's true. I think that every single day, people steal and they're violent and they do bad things and they justify the things that they do. And they say that I'm doing these things because the system created a world where I am underrepresented or I am disenfranchised. So it's okay for me to do these bad things. Most people that commit crimes do them thinking that there is some sort of justification for what they're doing. It's not the same. It's completely the same. Because also, like, and this is the problem that I think a lot of people have, is that you're thinking about what you think is the same. You are, again, basing all of this value judgment off of your thinking. Take yourself out of your thinking and think about what somebody else would think. I never feel bad for a guy like the CEO. That's fine. What I'm saying is that, like, yeah, we do it all the time. The shareholders are responsible due to the company's requirement to fulfill fiduciary responsibilities. Well, it's hard to say. You're right, but you're fighting against the wave of people's emotions. Of course, right? And it's just a totally illogical perspective to have. There's no sense or reason or rationality to it at all. Will YouTube stop the videos from going live now? I think that they, like, now that I think about it, they probably should. Because there's a high probability of it encouraging more people to do bad things. Yeah, I think they probably should. Even though it would be, like, for my content, it would be great if they let them go out. It'll become a manifesto. Yeah, it emboldens people like that to do it. We need the government to be a little bit more controlling with CEOs. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's true. I get a lot of calls of people not wanting coverage. Yeah, I think it's bad too. Like, I hate insurance companies. Absolutely. You won't find sympathy for his death. You're just going to beat a dead horse telling people you won't like this when they turn the other cheek. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that a lot of people feel a degree of power when somebody like this kills the CEO. But I think that power is very short-lived, and the conclusion of that action is very dangerous and unhappy. And I think that everybody will be worse off because of it happens, by that happening. Yeah, and I think that if you logically look at this and you think about it in a reasonable perspective, you would arrive at the obvious conclusion that it's bad to, and you can't just go around and shoot people because you think that they deserve to be shot. You just can't do that. Because there's somebody who thinks that everybody deserves to be shot.